Last night, I watched WWE NXT for the first time in years, and it feels completely different. A different sound, energy. Who are these people? And somehow, I even caught myself watching the commercials. NXT, what are we doing? Today, I will be breaking down WWE NXT January 28, 2026. I will be giving my thoughts, breakdowns, and reactions, and hella questions, because NXT, I got questions. Yes! Welcome back to reading a post and actually watching it live in action, it's very, very different. There were some familiar faces, some familiar stories, but NXT, it has its own vibe, it has its own show. One of the first thoughts I had while I was watching this episode of NXT, I was like, wow, it feels fresh. There's people on my screen that aren't really ever on my screen, people that I probably would never tap into before, but I'm watching you now. Put on a show for your boy OG Donny. Overall theme around this episode looming that the NXT Championship is vacant. Femi get in the ring and it's gonna be settled in a ladder match. I did not get that gist until probably about the last segment. I was like, oh shit, it's a ladder match for the NXT Championship.
Really, nigga?
Not the North American Championship, because at first I thought Page was putting his North American Championship on the line in a ladder match. Just how it was invented. NXT clearly has its own identity, separated from Raw and SmackDown, even if it is quote unquote canon, if it is part of the universe, it feels different. There were hella backstage segments. NXT is like high school, NXT is like college. I know they're going after hella athletes, which is a talking point later on, but damn, all the promos are backstage or in a fucking locker room. What are we doing? I'm not really mad at it. It helps, it adds the feel. It helps add the feel to NXT. It feels like that high school, that training ground, that developmental. It feels fresh, it feels new, it feels you're watching these people blossom. But will they blossom? I don't know, because last night, I did not start this episode right from the beginning. I turned it on and it was mid-tag team match. I don't even remember who was in the match. Am I gonna do the due diligence to go and rewind it? No, I'm not, I'm sorry. OG Donny, NXT, you're just gonna have to catch me. The first segments I really tapped into, it was these dudes named the Vanity Affair.
Wait a damn minute.
You're a fucking Vanity Affair? Magazine? Who are these dudes? High School Musical? Is this what we're doing, NXT? Is this what we're doing? You have them in a backstage promo with Ava. Whole time, I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? One of them is an Evolve champion. I'm familiar with Evolve. I have never watched it, but I do know it's the developmental is developmental. So is NXT even considered developmental anymore? I know a lot of people like to consider it a third brand. I'll probably consider it a third brand. You have the people who are developing, and then you have the upper echelon developments, the people who have what it needs, but maybe need a little polishing. Maybe the main roster, their spot isn't open right now. So they just need somewhere to be until that spot comes to me. Another promo involved Miles Bourne and Ethan Page. Ethan Page is trying to get in his mind, and this whole time, I thought Miles Bourne was fucking deaf. Maybe he is deaf. I thought he couldn't talk. I thought Miles Bourne couldn't talk. I don't know, but he put out a whole fucking sentence. I'll beat your ass. I'll leave you in the grass. I was like, what the? Whoa, buddy. Whoa, don't pull out the 9. This Dion Lennox dude, I don't know, but I'm getting young prospect vibes. I'm getting like, this is what WWE wants in somebody. This is what they see. This is who they're going to try to polish. This is who they're going to try to make the next. I don't want to say that name. You can't just be throwing around that prestigious, tribal, legendary acknowledgement like that. I don't want to do that, but that's what I see when I see Dion Lennox. I do see two unpolished wrestlers in a ring, but that's what NXT is for. I'm gonna keep it a bug. This Miles Bourne dude, I don't really know what he's giving. I don't really know what the point of him is. I know he hit Steve Care, so shout out to you, but NXT, what do you do? After the match, Ethan Page handed him his belt, tried to get him to do something dirty, but it backfired. Ethan Page ended up getting hit by the belt and lost the match. Dion Lennox is going to the ladder match. What is going on in NXT? What happened to the mob? Where is the mafia? Why was Tony D in jail? Why is Ava bailing him out? And why is Stacks pulling up with some fire shit by his side? And she's a champion? What is going on? Johnson on this show was the character of Ricky Saints. I am familiar with Ricky Saints, some AEW stuff. I never really sat down and grew too much into him to develop a sense for who he is as a person, as a character, as a wrestler. When I'm picking up from NXT last night, this dude is the Ballad of Tony. We're playing GTA 4 DLC. Ricky Saints, Liberty City. Not too far away. I do like the vibes I was getting from Ricky Saints. He was involved in multiple promos throughout the night, multiple segments. So maybe Ricky Saints has some momentum going into that ladder match. A person who didn't have the opportunity to be in the ladder match, but I think should be in the ladder match, someone who I'm familiar with, is King. I think Lexis King should be winning. Does he lose? Does Lexis King lose matches? Last night he was involved in stories where he was talking to the second generation athletes, the third generation athletes, Nepo babies. Is he trying to recruit all the Nepo babies? Oh my God, the narcissistic Nepo's running NXT. No! How many Nepo babies are even in NXT? So Lexus King, if you have any potential, you got the Jeff Hardy beard. Put it to use! If you watched my video yesterday bringing down Raw, I said Austin Theory looks like a creative wrestler. Well, Teon Heights looks like a creative wrestler. What? NXT is straight creative wrestler. Maybe Austin Theory needs to go back to NXT. Wow! No, I'm just kidding. That doesn't really need to happen. But NXT looks full of creative wrestlers, people just trying to stick with a stick. And that's what NXT is. And I can enjoy that for the art that it is. But this is the match where Stacks pulled up and I was like, bro, you got fine shit by your side? What happened to the family? And isn't that Santino's daughter? What is she the champion of? It must be some TNA stuff because TNA was also a focal point on NXT. There were multiple TNA segments. You have the people that asked by Elegance brand. I thought she retired. Is she still wrestling? Let me know. But they're feuding with Zarya and Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka is missing. She's gonna be on TNA to have a title match. What is going on? Zarya was like a beast. Zarya is dead ass Zarya. Straight power moves. She hit a spear. She hit a fucking 5. I was like, what am I watching right now? And if you don't know what Zarya I'm talking about Overwatch Zarya. If you know, you know. It's quite literally the same person, and she probably has a skin that looks exactly like Thea Hall. The last time I seen Thea Hall, she was part of Chase U, and it seems to be Chase U isn't really Chase U anymore. I thought Andre Chase might have been propelled from the match he had later on, but we're not there yet. But Thea Hall, she has new music, new energy. She was accidentally crowned NXT North American champion for the woman, and now she's not even a champion. So that lasted a good, what, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? How long did that last? But Thea Hale, I feel like I could actually get behind her now. She seems to make more sense. She's aggressive. Her gear was fire. She's tough. She's technical in the ring. But there's no chance. There's no chance she was taking down Zarya. Zarya feasted. At the end of the match, Fatal Attraction came out. Is that their name? Toxic Attraction, Fatal Attraction. Mean girl groups in NXT. These plug and play. On Wednesdays we wear pink. That is a big part of NXT. That is a big part of hey, you're fine shit. I'm gonna throw you in this faction. I'm gonna put the bell on you. I'm gonna let you propel. I'm gonna let you grow something. That is such a prototype. That is such an archetype in NXT. You've seen it with Mandy Rose. You've seen it with Cora Jade. Like, NXT, Shawn Michaels. Okay, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So don't fix it. The main event of NXT. This is why I thought Andre Chase was a prominent figure now. He's in the main event. When's the last time Andre Chase was in the main event? I don't know, I haven't watched NXT, probably last week. But he's taking on this Keanu Carver dude, who when he first came out, I was like, what is Strickland doing back in NXT? What is he doing in WWE? This creative wrestler, all of these creative wrestlers. But then, as the match going on, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Is this the next Oba Femi for NXT? He looks like a beast. My takeaways from this NXT, which we haven't even gotten there yet, are Ricky Saints and Joe Hendry for that ladder match. But the way Keanu Carver looked dominant last night, I could see Keanu Carver getting that sneak. I could see Keanu Carver climbing that ladder and sneakily becoming the new NXT champion. He's young. Why not let him be primed? Why not let him be positioned for the top? I didn't feel like that at first though, because Andre Chase, he had the upper hand in his match. And then shit changed out of nowhere. Andre Chase tackled him over the announce table and it was a weird looking spot. I was like, what the fuck? You decided to do that? Okay. Bounced right back up, grabbed him, put him through the announce table. I was like, what am I watching right now? This dude is a beast. 1, 2, 3. Keanu Carver is your last participant in the men's ladder match for the NXT championship. The obvious seemed like Ricky Saints and Joe Hendry, but just based off me watching last night, my personal favorite I want to win would be Keanu Carver. I promise you, Brody was standing in the ring for like 30 minutes after his match. After his match, there was a promo. All the participants from the NXT ladder match came out. They're standing in the middle of the ring. In my head, I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? Who are you? Who are you? You have somebody wearing a Canadian tuxedo, have fucking cutie pie. What am I looking at? You got the dude from the Vanity Fair who's getting hella boos. Is Vanity Fair, are they over? Are they booed? What did they do to be so hated? Maybe I should watch Evolve. That Kylie Gray girl, is that her name? Kendall Gray? Kendall Gray, she looks phenomenal. I am familiar with her game. She's incredible. She's a future star of the women's division. Keanu Carver, the man in NXT, the beast. He was like, fuck is all this talking for, bitch? Boom, 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 boom. They start brawling out of nowhere. Everything is for stake. Ricky Saints comes off his ladder. Oh my gosh, who said his name? Say his name and he appears. I believe Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Sorry, I had to jam out real quick. But Joe Hendry and Ricky Saints, it was like they were in their aura farming. They were just having an aura of who's gonna have the most aura. Is it Joe Hendry? Is it Ricky Saints? I don't know, but neither of them were standing tall, because you know who stood tall from the moment the bell rang from his match to the moment the show closed. Even if there were extra minutes, even if they had to show next week's card one more time. See, Keanu Carver, my new favorite in NXT. OMG. NXT ends with Keanu Carver standing tall. There is a big show next week. There's 3 title matches. I'm quite excited. I'm quite excited to tap back in next week. This is my first time watching WWE NXT in full in a very long time. The last time was probably the Braun Breaker era, the colorful era, maybe black and gold. I don't know. But as you know, OG Donnie Graps, he's taken over. So we're tapping back in. We're getting locked in. I would say my overall takes from WWE NXT last night. The main thing, it felt fresh. Yes, it's not the best. It's not the highest production. It's not the best superstars. But you can tell they're in there busting their ass, trying to make something work, trying to find out a way to make their dreams come true, to be standing in the ring one-on-one with the Tribal Chief, one-on-one with Cody Rhodes, one-on-one with CM Punk, one-on-one with these upper echelon stars in the main event of WrestleMania. Does NXT have anybody capable of that at this moment? If you ask me, it's Keanu Carver, but I might have recency bias, because the first time I seen him was last night. NXT, it also finds a way to get everybody on their roster involved. I feel like I seen at least 200 superstars last night. Everybody's involved in a segment. Everybody has a match. That's what it felt like. You have Booker T putting people over on commentary. NXT, it feels fresh. It feels refreshing. Today is Wednesday. Today, All Elite Wrestling comes on. Will I tap into AEW? I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to stay tuned until tomorrow. See if I drop a video reacting to All Elite Wrestling. Let me know, what did you guys think of NXT? Did you tap in? Are my questions valid? Has NXT been like this? Why are these people like this? I guess I'm just gonna have to keep watching. But in the meantime, the in-between time, I'll still be on your screen, up in your screen time. You know who it is. OGD.